Yeah, I've been playing around with a few things in the water here. And yes, I've worked on the distance here and laid the rocks in, but I'll show that to you when I square things off. I want to remove these colors here. I introduced a bit of these colors, higher value, into the foreground, and really what I need to do is, if I'm going to do that at all, I should wait until we have our water painted in for the most part. I'd like to take some of this color and bring it down into here. Some of that sky. So let's get into the cobalt blue. A little bit of yellow ochre. Trying not to put too much yellow ochre in there. I don't really want that. I don't want to match it exactly. I'd like to come somewhere close, but not quite. Okay, that's still kind of yellow ochre-y. I'd put some light in the water here as well. I don't just want a whole bunch of dark water. I think I'm going to bring it right from there. We're going to do away with all that purple that's sitting there. Alright, is that okay? I hope so. It's happening. Yeah, that's better. Let's keep this kind of thing going on. Yeah, that's true. All I'm doing is a bunch of vertical strokes right now. Just putting them in there. I don't need a whole bunch of form in the water. I just need the water to generally get along with everything else in the painting. It's a bit late. I probably shouldn't be doing this anymore. These are decisions I should be reserving for when I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning, but for some reason I just couldn't stop. Okay, I think that's already a little better. And as we get closer, maybe I shouldn't worry too much about the direction of my strokes either. Some highlights will be horizontal, but I don't know if all these strokes should be horizontal, if they need to be. It might end up looking a bit stiff if I do that. I'd like to keep it somewhat interesting. The colors in our sky are so clean that I think it'd be kind of nice to repeat that a little bit, at least down towards the bottom here. Don't want to be too strong. You know, I've already looked at the sky and thought, okay, you can't, it's not in frame right now, but I think I'm going to bring up some, not necessarily cloud, but yeah, okay, some light heading off in the, towards the right to oppose this. You know, and also I've got these bushes all doing this back here, and the rocks all doing this along here. Then we come down to this one. This rock was, it's not too bad, but it was kind of blocking the view. It inhibited you from looking sort of over it because it was obtuse, right? So we've made it concave a little bit to oppose it. This, we do this. And I think that helped. I've dropped, you know, it drops the rock formation a little bit. And with a bit of luck, it'll keep things maybe more in tune with the painting. I also don't want this entire formation to be dark. I don't want it all to be a silhouette. I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to paint all the water tonight. There's still quite a bit to go. And that paint will be pretty stiff in the morning, so I'll likely just get part way through it, and I'll put it in a cold room tonight so that with some luck, so that the paint isn't too dry in the morning when I go to revisit the painting. Okay, all right. That's enough of the cobalt blue going down. I need to stop it. I'm going to bring the shadow across now. We'll go to ultramarine blue. And okay, now a little bit of alizarin crimson in there. I don't want to go to too low a value just yet. I think that I would like to keep the value still up a little bit. Putting in a few higher energy strokes here. Scraping the ridges off as I go. Now, although the trees from the left are casting a shadow onto the water, this dark area is going to be reflected in the water, so I can't just have solid light in here. Okay, I could, but I don't want to. I don't think I'll put this video out tonight. This will be a Tuesday video. And if I do put it out tonight, just pretend it's a Tuesday video. So we have hints. We do have hints of yellow ochre and alizarin crimson mixed into here. And I'm leaving them. You know, they're subtle varieties of color. I think that works pretty well. The strength is going to have to come in the highlights, because right now everything's kind of gradual, as you can see. when I'm working with the knife doing this kind of thing, I almost always have a rag in my right hand. Well, in this case, a piece of toilet paper. Because there's so much paint that the knife picks up. I don't want to, out of sort of muscle memory, suddenly lay in color because I'm too lazy to wipe the knife off. I like to keep that knife clean as I'm working through things. All right, I'm probably mumbling. And maybe we'll just leave it at that for the moment. Yeah, so I went into the bush, or this distant shore rather, into the bushes. Worked on the rocks there, painted in, but they're not finished. I still need a little grooming. I've got a very dark, thick line here. Some of the values between water and rock need to be adjusted. That's okay. Those are small things. I'm really enjoying just covering ground right now. All right. Oops. Just saw a ridge I wanted to get rid of there. All right, let's square the camera off. Have a peekaboo. It's certainly coming together. Here, maybe I'll drop this. Maybe I'll flip my viewfinder around so that I can see from behind the camera what's going on. See, the water's a bit weak yet. Needs a few highlights. Needs a bit of organizing as we work our way down lower and to the left. And the rocks are in place, not finished. The outlining is a little too strong on them yet. That's fine, we'll get there. Unlike the sky, I've used combinations of ultramarine blue and cobalt blue. No, ultramarine blue and yellow ochre up close to just below the rocks. It's a little chalkier. And then brought in cobalt blue and gotten rid of the yellow ochre as we move down the painting. Strengthened some of these areas as well. Okay, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. That's enough for now. In general, you can see what's going on. Have a good, have a good day, I guess.